Mugs, I answered the call. You want to see the pro review these Sydney 2-year-old trials, the first 2-year-old trials for the season. What makes me the pro? Betfair. That means you're a pro, right? Anyway, look, there were some really good trials that I think we found some future winners, apart from the obvious, because in my humble, some of these horses are just sent to go to Hong Kong. So tune along. Let's see if we can find some winners in the 2-year-old season coming up shortly.
Margs, hello, down here in the corner. Thought I'd brighten up your day with a nice, pretty background. Now we're going to have a look at trial number 2, a horse, Autumn Blonde, out of John Sargent's stable. Now, I think she trials up really nicely. Daughter of Autumn's Sun out of a mare, Tall Blonde, which is a half-sister to Doubtland, who was pretty quick in his day. But she's in the black silks here, green cap, tricolours racing. Now look, this is what we do. We watch it together, and I just sort of commentate, and if you listen, and well, that's on you more than me at this stage. But she just settles in nicely behind a pretty hot pace here. They're all got a hot pace, the 2-year-olds. But just wants to get a bit frisky, wants to get out in clear air, and a bit of an underrated skill I find as a 2-year-old. There's the gap, and she gets there eventually, but once she sort of gets through that gap and doesn't want to play funny buggers with the horse next to her, strides out those big lanky white sock legs and really puts it to the line. This runner down the outside has had no troubles in runs, so got the momentum up, but really strides out nicely. So Johnny Sargent with what looks to be a sprinting type is a bit of a push there as well. And I think she's one to certainly follow. She's past them there, past the post. Trial 4 here, Mugs. A horse, Tupakara, a Magic Millions purchase. Annabelle and Archibald. Tomo Sherry rides in the light blue silks, which you'll see jump out here in a minute. White cap in the middle. Look, one of the slower heats of the morning, but I'm not a real trial time guy because you can see a horse like that one that's just gone to the lead be revved up. And if you do not want to bust your horse chasing it for no reason, then you won't worry about doing that. But settles out the back here. And again, these are the ones that I sort of look for is the jockeys not really asking a lot from the horse, but the horse sort of responding from that competitive spirit. So again, cluttered up, seeing a lot of bootay there, but this filly really just tries to work her way to the outside. Sort of asks for a bit of an effort there by Tomo, and really picks up very nicely, I find, that last sort of 150 to 100 metres, and really working through the line there, super. Probably scalps 4th there on the line. Really just starting to pick up speed late there. So Trapeze Artist filly, the dam itself, the relation to Estijab on there, so that's a pretty damn good sprinting pedigree. So K-Mugs, trial number 5. Now we found our first $1 billion stallion to be. Out of the Kieran Maher stable, out of Tunan Hot and Duvessa, a colt named Ripley. J-Mac takes the ride here, and you'll notice the colours there, those purple and gold, fancy looking things. Not quite up there with the Mugs colours, but hey, we'll get there. But again, look, shows good enough gate speed. You got Waterhouse Runner, Bjorn Baker Runner, and a Waterhouse Runner. So again, these times are going to be quick purely because they just bolt. But look, J-Mac just settling very, very nicely on this colt. And again, I look for those ones that are just sort of settled within themselves. But right here, he just sort of wants to play around a bit, gets the head up. J-Mac's giving him plenty of room there to the outside. And that's, I think, what he wants to do is to peel out and just sort of ask for an effort here. So look, he's pretty calm on him there, J-Mac. I'm looking at sort of the Harron Bloodstock under the whip. Ripley's going 2 to his 1. And really starts to lengthen as we're hitting the line over the 850. And you've got to remember, unless they're coming up to Gatton for an 800-metre sprint, these horses are looking for the 1,000 first up at least. So those that are sort of swimming in no man's land, hitting the line, I'll be worried about the endurance. But hey, they're here to try whether you get fit. So Ripley, thanks for sticking with me here. Trial number 7, got a bit of choppery going there. November starts early in my world, so give me a break. But you might have seen this trial doing the rounds. North England here, looks super impressive. Gay Waterhouse, China Horse Club, straight out the front there. But I'm going to pause it here. because we're looking at
Steel Knight.
blue and the maroon cap, Annabelle Neesham. That's J-Mac on board. Big Mugs fan. Look, just not a tardy starter, let's put it that way. Gets himself into a good position there on the rail, but he knows, all right, well, we're just going to be making up ground here. This thing's just let fly in front. I mean, I don't see the point because, well, she knows what she's doing. She's a 2-year-old legend, but horses just trial as good as they want. We had a Sir Carter trial win like this, remember? But watch Still King here. Sticks to the rail. J-Mac cuts back inside and really, again, not asking for a lot of effort. Just gives him the little nudge along. And just love that head down bull action. Like really picks up through, gets that other horse fading back. Hitting his strides here now and he just eases him up. He says, nah, you've done your job, boy. Something flying down the outside. But he's pecking back on that North England as well, who I'm not sure if Tim Clark did the same. And really stretches the legs out well. So even from a trial like this, where this horse just obliterates him and looks $1 million and costs $5 million, there's still some good horses coming in behind there as well. So that was lucky last for the morning. This is trial number 8. The fillies are back on show. Notable mention, there's a horse called Wangy Wangy in this heat, which is quite amusing in its own right. But our good mate, Zachy Lloyd, Stradbroke winning jockey Zachy Lloyd. Icarian Dream here in the pink. Bit tardy to start with, but has a bit of muster and a bit of gate speed just to put her, I should say, up into the race and sort of opts to go about 5 or 6 wide there from the rail. So he just wants to make sure she's got plenty of room to extend down the outside. And again, just watch his mannerisms on the horse. Just sitting and steering. She's picking up really, really well underneath him. You can see the urgency there on Wangy Wangy on the inside. And he's just toying with him. This girl bolts up. Really just digs in that last 100 metres with a really good burst. And cruises through in a pretty good time there as well. So Zach Lloyd has got one there. Icarian Dream, which is certainly one to be following. And that's it. That's the trial files. No, that's not what I'm called. I'm called Trial Hards. Sky, you can't have this. Too entertaining. Bye. Oof, there we go, Mugs. I'm now out in the jungle with the people. 2 weeks, Gimcrack, Breeders' Plates. They're the 2-year-old races that we'll see a lot of these horses in. The ones that we've found hopefully can represent a little bit of value because we've had to look a little bit deeper. But I'm going to chuck them up on the screen now. Fingers crossed, chuck them in your black books. You'll get some cash one day. That's what I pray for pretty much each and every day.